My name is Richard Malloy. I am part of the sales team here at PSPDFKit. We have been doing this webinar series for several months now. What we do is take some time to do more of an in-depth kind of look at some of the products we have, allow you to kind of interact with our team, ask questions, and things like that. So, a couple of things about myself. I've been with PSPDFKit for over 9 years. It's been a great journey seeing all the growth and development of the products we have that we'll talk about today. And so, looking forward to showing y'all quite a bit. In the background today, I have John Adams, who is one of our solutions engineers as well. He'll be monitoring the chat and the questions. So, if you have any, queries or you want to see certain things, we'll do our best to get back to you quickly. At the end of this webinar, you will receive a link to the recording. We also put it on the website as well. So if you miss anything or you're trying to share this with colleagues, you can definitely forward that on. Additionally, I'll put my information, John will put his information. So if you want to reach out directly to us about, maybe a personalized demo or, talking to the sales team or engineering team or support team, we can certainly facilitate that. So wonderful. So we'll get started. Go ahead and share screen, find PSPDFKit. Okay, so you should be looking at our homepage, pspdfkit.com. So a little bit about PSPDFKit. We've been in this space for over a decade. We originally started as a provider for iOS PDF support back when the mobile app craze was really going. And so we found kind of an opportunity to come into the market to provide document support for PDFs within mobile apps. You see some of the logos on our main page, such as DocuSign, Lufthansa, Dropbox. A lot of these customers have been with us for over a decade, and they really started using us on iOS as a start. So today we're going to be focusing primarily on our web solution. It's one of our most popular tools that people are using today, as well as continued growing interest. So we'll be focusing a lot on what the web SDK can do and the functionality around it. One of the things that we've really seen in terms of application development over the years is a lot of developers and teams are going with a web-based approach first, especially as browsers technology has gotten a lot better. There's more investment in it. The performance and things like that has really improved, being able to do, an iframe or some sort of web-based application on a mobile device. So we'll spend a lot of time on web today. Please do note that a lot of the functionality we show today is also supported on our mobile SDKs and things like that. Our goal is always to have parity across all of our platforms, but as development cycles start at different times. So, we might be a little ahead here, and then we certainly we personalize it based on the operating system. So based on that, I did want to kind of highlight some of the other products that we do. So looking here, we have a web-based solution. So this is a client-side integration of PSPDFKit into your browser. What this does is we provide you basically the JavaScript client running as a WebAssembly web worker. WebAssembly allows us to do a lot of the cool things that we do and allow to do it at a performant level. All the rendering and manipulation happens in the browser itself, requiring no backend services or anything like that. So very popular, quick and easy to get set up. You can download a trial and you'd be up and running in no time. It does come with an optional document engine that's self-hosted that has some cool server-side APIs as well as like improved performance and things like that we can talk about. Other than that, a couple other things to be aware of. We do have specific SDKs for certain operating systems such as iOS, visionOS, Android, Windows. We're seeing a growing popularity in Flutter and React Native as a lot of developers are using those type of languages to develop in, as well as some point solutions for Salesforce and SharePoint. So a lot of stuff here in terms of document workflows and things like that. But let's talk about web. Let's get started. So this is our component list for our web solution. So if you happen to be in an evaluation phase right now with PSPDFKit and you've downloaded the trial key, you have an instance of PSPDFKit up and running that has all of this built in. What's cool about PSPDFKit is when we license our technology, it actually is broken down on a per component basis. This really avoids you paying for components that you don't need. And so what we'll do is we'll have a quick walk through each one of these components so you can kind of get a feel of what each one does, and then you can kind of make a decision of what type of functionality. So we will get started. So we'll go to the website again, and we'll pop open this web demo here. So got a nice sidebar here. So I'm going to collapse it. It's a custom sidebar we did, and I'll go in and render the document. So this is our standard UI. So if you use PSPDFKit, this is the UI that you can expect to use. This will basically allow you to plug and play this into your application. You get this out of the box, which is great. This is customizable, but obviously, if you need a quick and easy solution, we can help you there. So talking about our viewer, and we'll look at some examples here of what we're really excited about our viewer. So we're going to go ahead and render this document. So standard viewing features, a lot of people use maybe the browser or jump out to a third party, but being able to render PDFs within your application is super helpful. So being able to look at thumbnails of the PDF, things like that, being able to expand, we can toggle it. We have different kind of view states in terms of like what you want to do. What you expect from a PDF rendering tool is really important here. Zoom in and zoom out. For those of you maybe in the construction or engineering world, or having to look at stuff, being able to zoom with really good fidelity is super important. So I'm going to fit this to page. Other stuff that's included in our renderer is, being able to search within a PDF and then toggle results, printing and things like that. So yeah, a lot of standard viewing features. If the PDF has an outline, we can pick that up and help you with that. We do a lot of work on cross compatibility with other renderers, and a lot of that is done by adhering to the PDF specification. So, if an outline has been created when the document was digitally born, we are able to pick up that outline and follow it as well. Same thing in terms of like an annotation list. If there's annotations, or you want to do bookmarks, we want this to be able to pop up if you're going to use it in other applications that follow the spec. So yeah, in terms of other document types, PSPDFKit primarily renders everything as a PDF. We do have other options in terms of extending that out to like Office documents, image files, things like that. What we do is we take those file types, we convert them to a PDF. All right, hopefully my audio is back. I just changed microphones. Hopefully, cool. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you. I've gone on for several moments without knowing. So thanks for being on top of that. Apologies for that. User interface. So we're actually going through kind of a major UI redesign right now, which I think is going to be really exciting for people to see, to give you more flexibility around building, theming, customization, and things like that. We've released a small update here where you can see the icons are a bit different, but some of the immediate things that you can do right now with kind of the annotation toolbars is you're able to remove certain things. And so maybe you're in the DRM world where you want to really protect the document. You could remove downloading, printing. You can even disable text selection. There's a lot of things you can do for customization to kind of protect the document within itself. But, other than that, being able to look and make it feel like it's your application in terms of icon colors and things like that, we want you to be able to theme as well as customize the toolbar. So, that is kind of the quick and dirty on our viewer. So the next thing that I'll probably jump in is annotations. This is where we typically see a lot of people come to PSPDFKit interested in using kind of a third-party tool. There's some good open source viewers on the market in terms of providing simple viewing and kind of navigation. Annotations where you start to kind of find that there's nothing out there really out of the box that's going to have good support, have good fidelity, and is maintained. So we typically see when annotations come into play, that's when a lot of people perk up and start asking about PSPDFKit. And so one of the things with PSP we do is we have a ton of different annotation types. So, we have the core one, which is, just an ink annotation. We enable our inspector. So, you're able to change the colors. Going back to the UI questions, you are definitely able to customize what the defaults here and things like that. But annotations is where we really kind of see a lot of interest here. So, everything from highlighting, as well as, selecting the text. It's good to note that everything we're doing on the front end has the ability to hook into an API on the back end and do things programmatically. So programmatically highlighting things, programmatically adding an annotation on certain coordinates of the PDF. We do a lot of that for you. And then you can also track that. So, again, we go to this annotation list. You can see where annotations are done, when they were done. You can even use an API. We have to put an author name on it as well. So a lot of functionality here in terms of annotations. It's good to note, the document we're looking at is actually addressing, what PSPDFKit is built on top of. We made the conscious decision about a decade ago to actually fork off of Google's PDFUme. If you don't know what PDFUme is, it's an open source PDF renderer that Google owns. They purchased it from another provider several years ago. It's the same renderer that you see in Chrome. And so it's maintained by a ton of developers. There's a great open source community behind it. It's used in the most popular browser in the world, which is Chrome. And so our decision there was, our ability to fork off of it and build all this additional functionality gives us the best of both worlds. It provides the stability of the project itself, but it gives us the ability to build all this proprietary functionality. It's been a blessing to be able to work alongside PDFUme. We contribute back to it and improve the render at sometimes by still being able to do all the cool stuff we do. So, yep, great stuff to talk. So. Other annotation types, so link annotations, so being able to jump and set kind of stuff like that. If you're maybe in the legal field and you're more in the text editing space, you're able to highlight stuff here, and this allows you to do certain text editings like highlight, strike through, things like that. So there's a lot there that you can do in terms of to be able to do that. I think our friends at MinuteBox are here today on the call, so appreciate that. Okay, I think I'm back. Not my day today. Having a lot of issues with technical things, so I apologize for that. Cool. So yeah, a lot here in terms of what you can use for text selection. There's a couple other annotation types I'd love to show you in terms of adding stamps. We do a lot of custom stamps as well. We actually use the same stamp template that a lot of renderers do in terms of the approved status. There's also image annotations as well, where you can add an image to the PDF and things like that. So a lot of cool things that you can do with PSPDFKit in terms of annotations and things like that. We even have note annotations as well. Okay, let me see. Here we go, share screen. There we go, we should be back. Wonderful. Yes, apologies for all the technical difficulties. There's construction upstairs today in our building, and it's been a fun one. Okay. Awesome. So last thing, or last two things we're going to talk about annotations would be text annotations here, as well as shape annotations. So any questions about annotations or anything like that? There's a lot we can do here in terms of, being able to mark up PDFs and things like that. Great. So I don't see anything. So jumping back to the component page, we're going to group in a couple things here. And this is probably one of the most popular use cases that we see in the space is forms and signatures. PSPDFKit adheres to the PDF spec on a lot of things, and forms is no different. So what we do is we have ability to support PDF acro forms. And so what a PDF form allows you to do is basically bind information to a certain part of the PDF. That could be a text annotation, things like that. But what we're able to do is if there's an existing form that's already being digitally created, we're able to take it. We can support, drop-down boxes, text boxes, things like that. We're able to, do check boxes, pick certain things, radio buttons, things like that. We're able to fill it out. You can fill it out manually. What's also fun is you can also programmatically fill out forms. So what you're seeing here is this information was pulled from a database, and we mapped them to certain form fields, and it go ahead and pre-fills out these form fields, which is really helpful. On the other end of the product, you can also, when you download or export this, you can take that information and store it and do it as you want. So we can have that ability to hook into things and help you provide better workflows and kind of pre-defining things like that. So the last thing around forms, which has been really helpful and have been a real big hit for us, is the ability to edit and create forms. There's kind of two core use cases for this. Is one, if you have an existing yes, I'll let John get back to that, but that looks like something we can definitely support. Being able to redline stuff, you could be able to do things like that. I'll let John get to that while I kind of keep going. So in terms of the form creator, you can edit existing forms. So if I have this date field and maybe I don't want to use it anymore, or I want to change the formatting based on maybe if I'm in Europe or I'm in the US, based on how the formatting is, I can change the format of that. I can move things around. Maybe I'm just not a big fan of radio buttons. I'd rather have a checkbox here. So I could drop that onto the form and kind of create that as well. I really would like a initials box up here. So I'm going to drop this down here so I can have an initials box, and then I can flatten the form here. We'll open it up in Chrome, and here we go. We've got everything here. So I've got my checkbox and I've got my signature boxes and things like that. So that cross compatibility is super important. So that's really good. We see the form creator used a lot in e-signature workflows, especially like kind of what Mike's talking about here. You think that drag and drop kind of pulling stuff out and then being able to send it off for signature as well. And we can talk about signatures next, because signatures are a big part of why PDFs have remained so popular. So we have two kind of different forms of supporting signature workflows. The first one's an electronic signature. So electronic signature is essentially an annotation onto the PDF. So you can do that in one of two ways. We have a unique signature. We have a signature toolbar and a signature component where you can, you can draw the signature. You could drop an image, you could type whatever you need to do. So we can do signature, and that would work. And then what I would do is I can resize it, drop it where I want. I could drop it down here. I could put it in the signature box, but there's a lot there what I can do in terms of just dropping a signature into that. And on top of that, PDF, the PDF spec allows you to designate certain form fields as signature boxes. And so what that I can do, if I click on that, we automatically pop up our signature UI. You can sign there, drop it in, we'll auto size it to the PDF. You can, again, if you wanted to, you could download it, open it up in another renderer, and you could see that it's there. So cool. Additionally, we also do what we call a digital signature. So a digital signature is the additional process of adding a digital certificate to the PDF. So what is a digital certificate? It's basically a certificate of authority that the person signing the document is who they say they are, and the document then has not been manipulated since that has been done. So what PSPDFKit does, it provides a vehicle to apply the digital certificate, verify it, and make sure everything's there. So we're going to apply a signature here. So we're going to go ahead and sign. Okay. We're going to look at what type we want, signature field. We're going to choose the existing signature field. So maybe I want to back this out. Signature field 1. Here's my signature I will use. We'll do that. And then we'll pick the signature up. We'll do get, and then I'm going to sign the document. So here we go. We're digitally signing the document. Wonderful. Okay. So we've signed it with a digital signature. It's a visible digital signature. You can see what it's on. We've got this nice banner at the top that says it's been digitally signed. PSPDFKit saying that, and it's great. What is really, really cool is if we backed out of this and did this again, what makes digital signature so valuable is if I create a new signature field instead of going in, and I'm going to go ahead and sign the document again. We sign, we're going to drop the signature up here. If I come in and manipulate the document, what ends up happening is PSPDFKit immediately is going to notify you like, hey, this has been digitally signed at one point, but it has been modified. Someone has changed the documents it was signed, therefore invalidating the digital signature. So that's something that's really helpful here. Cool. Cool. Thanks, John. John's on top of it. Thanks, Michael, as well. Jumping in there. Cool. And that's digital signatures. So we can do all type of digital kind of an electronic signature workflows. It's a big part of why PDFs again are popular. So if you do have requirements, we'd love to talk about it. We've actually built a full signing example and demo using PSPDFKit that we'd love to walk you through if you're interested in that as well. Okay. So making our way through kind of our component list, we've knocked out viewing, form support, annotations, electronic signatures, things like that. We can kind of jump ahead a little bit. We talked about image documents and Office files, being able to convert those to PDFs and doing that. We're working on a couple other things around that, which I think John can share if you'd like to meet with him afterwards. Other kind of conversion things we do is like PDF conversion and just kind of get these into certain document types that help you kind of be more effective. So take a quick drink, but our next stop will be the document editor. So one of the core usage of like end user tools like Adobe DC and things like that is kind of the ability to merge. And so when you look at that kind of workflow, you're typically leaving your application, spinning up another application, merging documents together, and then moving them out. So what we've done with PSPDFKit is we've created a document editor that basically will allow you to do this without leaving the application. So you can move pages, rearrange them. You can delete pages if you need to import a document. So I think I keep a nice sample PDF on my desktop. I'm going to move it towards the end. Need to rotate this stuff. And if you're having issues seeing it, we do allow you to zoom in on the thumbnails a little bit more. You can also select all if you wanted to, or you want to extract certain pages or undo. So we do that, and then we have the ability to create a new version of the PDF, or we can save on top of it. So we'll go ahead and save, and we'll add that PDF to the end. So I added this lovely PDF form that I can do it. Actually, no, we don't want to print. I want to move this nice form. Maybe we'll add a new page on the back, but I actually want my form to be the first page. So we'll drop that and jump up here. We'll zoom in real quick, and then we can work with that. Cool. So then we go, change dates and things like that. We'll check. Wonderful. Awesome. So then we have got link annotations here as well. So that's the document editor. It also has additional features like cropping and things like that. So if you did need to crop a certain part of the document to change, you could do that. So you can crop this current page and change it. That's another tool we have built into our document editor. So I just want to focus on the logos there. Wonderful. All right, any questions? Awesome. So let's see, rotate page 1. We can use ChatGPT a little bit to see if it can help me rotate. There we go. And then we did it. Cool. Nope. Thanks, ChatGPT. Okay. Wonderful. Awesome. Cool. We'll go into a couple more things. I'm looking for questions, and we are good to go. All right. So the next core feature, we're going to jump past Instant. We'll come back to Instant at the end, would be our content editor. Our content editor, so a lot of the things we've done today and what you've seen is that we're adding an additional layer to the PDF. So think of it almost like a piece of laminated paper. We're basically drawing on top of it with the option to, either laminate it again and keep it there permanently, or, erase it. So it's always additional layer to the PDF. We found an opportunity recently where we had a lot of requests to be able to actually annotate or edit the PDF itself. So what we did is we built what we call the content editor. Content editing allows you to actually manipulate the original PDF. So let's say, in one of Mike's examples or Michael's examples, when you're converting to Office to PDF, the date's wrong or something like that. And you may not have access to the source document, or you don't want to go back. Content editing would be the best thing there, because what it allows you to do, it allows you to come in and actually change the original text on the PDF. So we have a webinar on March 14th, 2024. And then you're able to use a set of fonts. So we'll go to Times New Roman. We'll bring down the size a little bit. Too much. Bold, change the color. And then we can resize it as well. So I can move this up here. So content editing is really, really a useful tool for, not only just moving stuff around, but actually editing it as well. So we're really excited about content editing. It's a nice tool. We've been investing quite a bit in it as it becomes more and more important in terms of today's workflow. Again, it's another way to keep the document workflow in your application without having to go use another tool. So wonderful. So we can move this out. Okay. Speaker name is me. Cool. Awesome. So that is the content editor. This is something we released in the last year or so. So it's something we're really excited about and get a lot of good feedback on. Okay. Right. Jumping back. We're doing pretty good on time, even with all the technical difficulties. Do you have any customers that integrate this product with Integrify workflows? I appreciate that, Mike. Yeah, it was part of, Integrify joining the family recently, is that we're having, more opportunities to add, actually document viewing and manipulation stuff. So we'd love to talk to you about that as well. Yep. Cool. So redaction. So redaction's a fun one, especially because I love what PSPDFKit does with it. So there's an element of being able to hide information opposed to actually redact information. And so when we look at the industry itself, there's a lot of tools that, they hide information is how I would say it. So what they would do, they would look at a document here, fact versus fiction. They would put a shape annotation on top of it. They'd fill it in terms of the backfill to it. So we'll say it's blue. You export this document, and then what that allows you to do is if you pull it up in another viewer, it's been hidden, but it's necessarily not removed. So I'll use this example because it allows me to download it. So I'll do text. There we go. So what we do with redaction is if we look on the page and we look at card, we've got two instances of it, 1, 2. With our redaction, we could do text redaction. So I can come highlight card. I can put that I'm doing a webinar, and I can basically apply that redaction. And if I come back and search for card, I only get one instance of it because we have removed that from the PDF itself. And so there's a lot of different ways to go about it. I can select text and it'll pop up, and I can remove and apply redactions. I can do an area redaction. Maybe we want to remove maybe this applicant's photo, but there's a lot of different things we can do in terms of redaction. We've even gone far enough to do something we call smart redaction, where it combines one of our server-side tools called GD Picture, which runs on Windows operating machines, which we've trained it to auto-detect certain information. So you can scan documents predefine certain things, mark it for redaction, and then you can apply it. So, we're really trying to take away that manual work of even someone having to go through this and do it one by one by one. So that's something that's something we want to do. Cool. Additionally, we can get into some more niche stuff for the last couple of minutes before we kind of navigate the website. And I like to tease a couple things we're working on as well, which I think is really cool, especially considering some of the questions by Mike and Michael today. Cool. So PSPDFKit is used in a lot of different industries. So aviation, construction, things. And so what's very neat about our website is, if you work in some of these industries, again, like I said, Minutebox is on the call today. They've been a wonderful customer of ours for so long. We're working in the legal industry. You're able to kind of work through this and see what are some things that we think are really helpful. So we can show you like how you can use PSPDFKit here, how you can use some of the things we do to promote your product more. But at the bottom, we actually provide recommendations on certain products that we have that we think would be helpful for your workflows as well. And so there's a ton: government, financial, healthcare, life science. Being a PDF product, there's a lot of different areas that we can kind of step into that have document workflows. So one of the big ones for us is construction and engineering. And so why we try to be a generic, give you options to use a lot of different things. One thing that we definitely have is certain stuff that's for certain industries. So we have a document comparison tool. So what we're looking at right now is 2 different versions of a PDF. So if you look at the top right, I'm picking out 3 coordinates on this PDF. Okay, I'm going to pick that. And then I have the second version of the drawing. So I'm going to need to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to try and pick the same 3 coordinates. And what PSPDFKit's going to do is we're going to overlay those, and now you can see the difference. So you can see a red line, you can see a blue line, you can see this walls change down here at the bottom. But what we're able to do is overlay those PDFs and see the difference of it. So we've built something out for vector-based PDFs or image-based PDFs like this that we can overlay it. We also have it for text-based documents as well, and it's an API that allows you to take 2 documents, overlay them, and then get the results of what that is. So for someone who was looking for redlining and being able to track changes and things like that, this would be a good tool to use as well. You could do text comparison and get an API and then pull out the data there as well, so you can see what's changed since the last version of the document. So that's super helpful. So that's our target. The other thing that is really specific to the construction and engineering, but also have some healthcare ramifications as well, is we have a measurement tool. So what this allows you is basically to measure the distances on PDF. So being able to the surface area, you can snap the kind of the scale of what you want to do, different colors, but we are able to pinpoint with great accuracy the distance between points. So we're really excited about this. We spent a lot of effort into the snapping and things like that, and we have some pretty exciting clients in the industry using this and depending on this, whether going through blueprints and stuff like that. So that would be measurement tools and things like that. We've also seen it used in the healthcare industry for like cardiographs and things like that. So there's a lot of applications to some of this stuff that we've built. So if you ever do have questions, we're happy to make suggestions on what you could use in this space. So we're going to get into some more niche stuff towards the end that I think is really, really cool. And we're going to tease something we're working on and have released into kind of a beta version. The first thing I want to talk about is PSPDFKit Instant. And so when we looked at PDF documents when we came into the space, they largely have been used the same way for several years. It's kind of why people kind of migrate to PDFs. They're dependable, they're consistent, and everyone uses them the same way. However, our workflows have changed drastically since PDFs came into the market. Like We work remote. We have, we're connecting more on Zoom. And so working with PDFs can be challenging because the versioning is quite difficult, especially when you have multiple people on it. So what we have done is built a tool called PSPDF Instant. So what you're looking at right now is you're looking at two different web browsers where we have the same document we're looking at. And so what we took some inspiration for is we wanted to build something that would almost mimic like a Google Docs kind of workflow, where you could have multiple people working on the same PDF, and then in real time, anything that's done to the document is going to be updated. So let's think you have somebody in the field, someone back in the office, you're in a board meeting, and you all are looking at the same document. What this would allow you to do is anything you're doing to the document is going to be reflected across everyone using it. So, if we wanted to go back to that document editor workflow and I wanted to delete that first page, as soon as I save it, everyone working on that document is saying, hey, this has been changed. You need to reload so you get the latest version. And so we're back here. So we really love PSPDFKit Instant. It's a great tool to use, not only for collaboration with other people, but just thinking about working in different scenarios where you would want the annotation synced in real time back to the device. So maybe you're going from your MacBook to your mobile device and vice versa. So it's a really powerful tool. I think what really brings it all together is we built basically chat heads and threaded comments, so you can have that sidebar conversation on a document that you usually don't get to have. So this says anonymous, but you would be able to put like your name in it as well. So that's something we get really excited about in terms of the use of Instant. So something cool. What about now? Is it back? No, yes, maybe so. Okay. Wow. All right. It's been one today. I apologize. I would like to, might follow up with a different webinar link that we've done, given the complexity of today. So sorry about that. But what I wanted to talk about is a lot of the stuff we've shown today have been front-end functionality. When we look at PSPDF, we have a lot of stuff that you can also do on the back end programmatically. So tools like GD Picture with like barcode reading, OCR, linearization, things like that. Something definitely to take a look at if you want to do kind of bulk processing with documents, especially when you start getting into like OCR and things like that. So, and then the last thing, I usually like to end these with teasing something that we've been working on. And so one thing I'd like to show everyone today is document authoring. And so this is something we've been working on for quite a bit, and something that we're in a beta to be releasing soon. So again, kind of going back to the document lifecycle, you're used to working and adding an additional layer to PDFs. Document authoring is the ability to kind of take almost a word processor a word processor workflow and bring it to PDFs. So you're working in a PDF thing, but as you see, the toolbar mimics what you would see like almost in PDF Word. So we're able to do a lot more different things in terms of like, changing the margins, inserting tables, line breaks, things like that. But this is going to really kind of change the game in terms of like how easy it is to manipulate a document in terms of document kind of processing and things like that, rather than PDF always being the final state where you have to send it back to the original source document or start from scratch. With document authoring, you can really come in here and play with the document, change things, recipient name. So John's been helping me today. He is one of our solution engineers, and so this is something we're really excited about. We're in a beta right now with it, so if anyone's interested in trying out, we'd love to show it to them and get feedback. But this is kind of the next iteration of what we see at PSPDFKit. It's kind of more flexibility around editing documents and things like that. So you can definitely see the things we're excited about this as well. So it really brings like almost word processing to the PDFs to PDF. So very, very excited. So cool. Thanks for dropping that in, John. That's super helpful. So to kind of wrap up, depending on where you are in your evaluation of PSPDFKit, I want to give you some links and things like that. I'm going to put my information in the into the chat. If you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly. I am always happy to get on a call, talk to you, walk through things, or get you connected with our team. If you haven't started a technical evaluation, you can come up here and hit Get Started. Today we talked about our web SDK. We'll stick to JavaScript, but this will allow you to essentially get started, take you straight to the documentation. This is this web SDK versus the document engine here, where you can decide what is going to be the best integration, and then will walk you through adding it to your project. And so at that point, you'll get the full SDK, all those features we talked about today. It will watermark the PDFs while you're working through the evaluation, but no worries, we remove that when you move to production. If you need help at any point during your journey, we've got thorough documentation here for you. None of this is gatekept. You can use it at your disposal, but you also have the ability to get in touch with our support team. We have an AI feature. You can also reach out to me directly and we can connect you with solution engineers. So a lot of different resources to make sure you get up and running and you stay up and running. All right. Big question, what does it cost? We license this as a subscription model, so it is an annual fee. The biggest triggers that we're going to probably look in and want to talk to you about is what functionality you need and what product. We looked at 20-something different components today. We talked about a lot of different products. So we usually ask for a quick conversation just to understand what type of workflow you're building, and then we can make our recommendations off that. So we'll have you kind of fill out the sales form. Let us know what you're initially interested in. We'll get back to you quickly, and then we'll get set up. And then knowing where you are in the world, we can get you set up with a regional team that's close to you. If you want to jump the line and schedule a call, you're always welcome to. We've got an active scheduling link, so you can get in touch with the team. So looks like you can get on a call in about 2 hours with us if you needed to. But a lot of different resources here as we kind of wind down. I do want to apologize again for the technical difficulties. It seems like if things can go wrong on live webinars, they do. We do have a wealth of resources here if you do want to maybe go check out this, or we have previous webinars as well that we've done. You're welcome to look at these as they get added to the page. This is under a resources page. You can also go to customer stories and see how different people use PSPDFKit and things like that. So thank you again for everybody for your time today. Please feel free to reach out to me directly. I appreciate the support, and I look forward to next time. All right. Have a great day. Thanks.